Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Shi-ve.A. I'm here to build a model kit, and I'm here also to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can just lurk. If you just want to say hello, you can do that, and that's cool too. Urban Bohemian is here. Wait precisely 1 second. Your long wait is over. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Aristovan. Welcome to you as well. It's Thursday night. The goal of the evening is to work on a cool model kit. We got it right here. It is, of course, the Black Knight Squad Shi-ve-A. That's SHI-VE.A. Shi-ve-A. We're working on the Shi-ve-A. Tonight's agenda is to figure out the beam weapons, the sword, the shield, and then the backpack along with the beam mantle. I think we build the backpack first and then the beam mantle after. Hey, Lord Crashton, welcome, welcome. It might be a chill evening tonight. I don't know. Perhaps people are taking the night off because they need to prepare for my stream tomorrow. Should say we are currently at, boom, 44 subscribers. The goal is to get to 88. Why 88, Pat, and not 90? Well, I'll tell you why. That's because on Sunday, I turned 44. And 88 is twice my age. So that is the goal we're trying to hit, is 88. And it's tied to tomorrow's subathon. Let's throw that up right here so we can take a look at that. The subathon, my birthday celebration, will be starting tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. And ending, I don't know, at the latest 8 o'clock. There'll be Hearthstone, wrestling. There will be old gaming commercials, because I got a ton of them to watch. There's going to be some WWE 2K24. And the thing is, if we're at 44, we start with the Nightmare Royal Rumble, which is going to be really fun. I have 20 creator wrestlers. I have 20 nonsense creator wrestlers that I have included. Some we've seen before in WWE 2K24. Some I downloaded just for this, who I normally wouldn't because they look like nightmares. They're all going to be in a Royal Rumble, which is very silly for all of them to be in that. And the idea is, once I hit 44, we do that. When I hit 45, I eat a McNugget. When I hit 46, I eat a McNugget. And I eat McNuggets all the way to 88, which is 44 McNuggets. I should also say, because I was describing that, so I apologize that I didn't break from my description to get into this. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. And thank Ghost Valve, who's been subscribing for 37 months. Thank you so much, Ghost Valve. And Ghost Valve says, almost a year. Yeah. Thank you, Ghost Valve, for your continued support. I appreciate it very much. Lord Crashton says, when you reach 88 subs, you're going to see some serious shit. I mean, that's just it, right? Like, and important to say, I will be purchasing 46 McNuggets because the price difference between 4 McNuggets and 6 McNuggets is like so little that it feels like you're spending too much on 4. And that way I have safety nugs. So I'm going to have 90, I could go up to 90. I'm not going to go up to 90. I'm going to stop at 88. And that's the best I can offer y'all. So Lord Crashington, I'm a basic bitch when it comes to McDonald's sauces. I like the ranch sauce that the chicken tenders come in, but you can't get that on most stores. You have to ask, and I'm doing it through an app because that's the way you get the 40 McNuggets for a very reasonable price, is through the app. So I am only getting barbecue sauce, the tangy barbecue sauce, because that is the only sauce that I like, as I said, besides enjoying their ranch. That's how they get you, says Lord Crashington. That is how they get you. So, like, I have to go through the app to get the 40 pack, which is the only way this reasonably works. And so I'm going to get a 40 and a 6. And I think I get I'll say this. You don't get enough sauces with 40 McNuggets. They do not give you enough sauce. They give you enough sauce with 6. They do not give you enough with, because I think it's six. I think it's 6 sauces, which is not enough for 40 McNuggets. So I will be supplementing that, um, probably with just Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna have a little container of that to crack out in emergencies. Is it universal that 4 nuggets get 1 sauce and 6 get 2? I believe that is accurate, Lord Crashington. I do believe that is real. But I will say this. They might not count how many sauces they give me. I might end up with extra sauces because they might just throw a bunch of sauces into a bag. I don't know. There's also the possibility that I won't get any sauces because it's a crapshoot because I'm going through an app. So it is a crapshoot that I will get the proper sauce or the ones I ordered or any. But I do have barbecue sauce in the house that is tangy and good. And I have ketchup, which also would be good if necessary. And I have ranch dressing if I need that. Okay, so what's going on here? All right, yeah. My view number is right now my view number right now is 2, and I know there are more than 2 of you watching right now, so that's annoying. It's okay, but it's annoying. It just means that the number will hopefully jump back up at some point. Number go up, that feels good. You know, I could set it so I don't even see how many viewers I have. I could just click a button and it won't tell me the viewers, but I am not disciplined enough to live like that. I wish I was. Anyway, it's going to be fun. Let's get into the stream. Let's build a backpack. Skit needs a backpack, and so we're going to build one. But yeah, we are at 44 subscribers. If you want to become a subscriber, you want to gift a sub to somebody, I'll say this. If the number goes past 44 tonight into tomorrow, that means I have to start the stream by eating big nuggets because I'm not going to stop what I'm doing, but I will eat nuggets while I'm doing something. So while I'm doing commentary on actual wrestling matches or matches that are in WWE 2K24, I will pause talking in order to eat a McNugget, and then I will go back to whatever we're doing. Or playing Hearthstone, I can eat nugs while I'm doing the Hearthstone thing. That sounds totally reasonable. All right, so C7 is going on top of this combination of things. We need C6 and C5, and then C15 on the sides. No polycaps for this because this kit doesn't have any polycaps. It is a modern design. They did not stop merely at the kits from Witcher Mercury, which you may know the high grades from Witcher Mercury did not come with any polycaps. And this kit also doesn't have it. The kit that I have from Gundam Build Metaverse does have polycaps because it is, of course, based on an old kit with new stuff added to it. That is now in my backlog. I'm not building that any soon, but that is my backlog. And I did notice that does have polycaps because, again, it is an older kit. This is a new design, and so it does not have the polycaps. Is that going to be the case for every high grade going forward that is not a reissue or a rebuild of an old kit? I don't know. I don't know what their plans. I don't have any insights into that. It'd be kind of cool if that was the case. If they're just like, yeah, from now on we don't do polycaps, but I feel like they'll go back to polycaps. I find this neat that because this was designed for the movie, that it did not include that. I just kind of think that's cool. Let's see. Quick hit stuff to talk about. Unfortunately, we do have to talk about some gaming layoffs. We're going to start with that tonight. A stream does not go by without some layoffs in the gaming industry. This particular one we will be chatting about is a small studio that is laying off just about everybody that worked there. We do not have an accurate number right now. This is Venture to the Vine studio. Venture to the Vine was their first game. This is a studio called Studio Cut to Bits. So the name of it was Studio Cut to Bits. They were a Montreal-based studio that 3 former Ubisoft high-up people left to form. That was Masayo Kobayashi, Tommy Sagala, and Paul Green left Ubisoft together to form this studio 5 years ago. They put out their first game, Venture to the Vine, in May, and they have laid off most of, is what this says, their 10 people who were employees there. That includes, I should be clear, one of the people who's been laid off from the company was Masao Kobayashi, one of the 3 founders of the company. Hey, Lashbrook, we do not know if other people, like, is it just now Tommy and Paul? I don't know. I do not have the answer for you. That is rough and weird because, like, that game just came out and then they're like, there are supposedly bug fixes coming for that game. They said they would work on some bugs. Are they going to work on bugs? Who's left to do that? What's up? Yeah, they'd also had an updates planned, which I could assume you don't get to do. So yeah, it sucks. I mean, layoffs obviously always suck. This one is real weird because it was, like I said, came a month after the game came out. Was this the right piece? Is this 18? That doesn't feel right. Yeah, this is not right. I pulled the wrong piece out here. I will be using that for something else on here. Apologies. Yeah, so we don't know. This was, basically putting a statement out. Financial reasons. And it's not clear if that was a long-standing thing where they just wanted to get the game out, or if it was tied to the success or not success of the game itself. But it's rough out there. It's rough times out there for game devs. And then also it's kind of cool for game devs. There's a weird thing where, like, the Beyond Good and Evil remaster, the quote-unquote 4K remaster of Beyond Good and Evil, is coming out next week. It's weird that It's weird that we found that out today, right? Like, that's fucking weird, right? Because, like, it's for the 20th anniversary. It was so basically, it got announced during the Limited Run Games showcase. Limited Run Games did a showcase today. Ubisoft included it there, but not at the Ubisoft press release or presser, and that's strange. There is updated graphics and controls, and the audio's been revamped, and also there's something in there now that will they added something to the game that kind of like teases Beyond Good and Evil 2, which feels rude because I don't think that exists. I'm guessing they made a deal to let LRG do marketing. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess, but it's just so weird to like have that. They had a thing. Ubisoft did not have a lot to show. You'd think that would have been like something. It was weird. Just Dance didn't even make it an Ubisoft thing. No way they're going to devote time to this. Who knows? I mean, it's a game. It's something that's coming out that their diehards are excited about. So I don't know. Very strange. And yeah, there was a leak of the game. This version of it came out last year, so it is out. Achievements and trophies. Some behind the scenes stuff is going to be in it. And yeah. Also, I should say, we're talking about how like, it's coming out to celebrate its 20th anniversary. That 20th anniversary was last year. The game came out in 2003. So it's the 21st anniversary of Beyond Good and Evil. They missed the date. So, it is what it is, but that I did feel like mentioning that. So yeah, that came out. I don't have much to say about the. I should actually look that up. Um, it's, but yeah, I don't have much to say about the limited run games. Uh, I don't have much to say about the things that they announced. I'm just going to quickly go through it. Um, but yeah, they had their thing today. Um, I was never big on Bubsy. But the Bubsy, the Perfect collection is out, and that seems fun. Good on them. They announced the probably most interesting thing to me anyway was that they announced that they are going to work on something with Grasshopper Manufacture. So Grasshopper Games and Limited Run are going to do something. We don't know what. People are speculating, of course, but we don't necessarily know what that is. But there's some sort of deal that's coming. They just announced that is happening. Gimmick 2. I don't pretend to know anything about the video game Gimmick, or as it was called in Scandinavia, Mr. Gimmick. I know that because of Wikipedia, because I was like, that's a Famicom game. Was there an NES release? There was, but it was the PAL version in Scandinavia, and it was called Mr. Gimmick instead of Gimmick. It's a yokai, and like, seems kind of fun. Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return. Tomba 2 is coming. No, so Lord Crashington, I don't think Jeff will release it because it did not have a North American release. It was released in Japan, and he is ranking games that came. He is ranking games that came out in North America and some Japanese games, so he could rank it. But I think he's being very particular about what he does because otherwise it will take him years to do. So I don't think he's going to put out like review every PAL game, which that would be there. And I think he's being fairly particular about what Japanese only games that he does do. Yeah, so it didn't get a North American release because I was like, because I was going to say, well, since they announced Gimmick 2, Jeff should definitely play Gimmick tomorrow. But apparently that game never had a North American release, so he can't play it. He could, but he shouldn't. He should not play it. See, there goes. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at Limited Run's list here. Clock Tower, not something I really care about. Yeah, it got a modern release sometime recently. Yeah, that makes sense. Shantae, Shantae Advanced Carbon Engine Port. Okay, that's the Advanced Carbon Engine Port of Shantae Risky Revolution. It's coming out in 2025. I have played a couple of those games. I do not hold reverence like some folks do for that platformer, but I know some people that love that game. Love those games. The big one that I gotta say is Gex. Gex is back, y'all. Gex Trilogy. The trailer was voiced by Dana Gould, the voice of Gex. The thing where he knows he's talking to someone who's a real weirdo, because if you have Dana Gould and you're not asking about podcast appearances of his, or you are not asking about The Simpsons, if you are asking about Gex, he knows he's talking to a real weirdo, or his stand-up, obviously. But he knows he's talking to a real weirdie if you are like, you were the voice of Gex. But yeah, Gex is back in a trilogy. He voiced it. The trailer, that's very fun. Happy to hear from the boss man. That's just a silly, weird thing that there's a Gex trilogy coming out. Limited Run Games makes weird choices that I appreciate. Makes some very strange calls. Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. Putting that out. And oh yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, which I believe we knew about previously. That's coming this summer. I just think they didn't have a date, maybe. Um, and like a new title, Double Shake, which looked pretty fun. Fear Effect. Yeah, I don't know. They pick some weird shit, and I don't hate that. I don't hate the weird shit that they pick. Snow Bros Wonderland, a new one, a new Snow Bros. I don't remember much about Snow Bros originally, but we got a new Snow Bros coming. It's one of those things where it's like, it's all stuff that I'm like, yeah, all right, oh, okay, cool, weird stuff. But we should probably talk about the Nintendo Direct this week. We should probably. Uh, yeah, Slashbrook. There's a new Snow Bros coming out. That was an early announcement, I believe, but it didn't hit as hard as some of the other stuff. Okay, so this is gotta go like this. All right, got to build this properly. But we should talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened this week. I watched most of this live, and then a little later, you played the first one a lot in a dingy arcade of my local bowling alley. Hell yeah, that is a great way to remember a video game. It's like, where were you? Where did you play this game? Oh, well, the dingy. It was a dingy arcade room of a local bowling alley. Perfect. All right. Why can't I get this? Maybe that doesn't go like that. Oh, that's why. I'm just doing it wrong. Not the first time that I've said that on this very stream, but every once in a while, it's the truth. I'm like, why isn't this piece going together the way it should be? Well, because I'm not doing it properly. This is black on black and can be a little difficult to see exactly what you're doing. With the instructions. Sometimes the instructions like look a certain way and you're like, oh, I get this. And then you just realize like, oh, no, I don't get this at all. All right. And this goes like that. Okay. All right. That one like that. That seems good. Now we got to put a sticker on here. Sticker number 16. Do that. And there's another sticker after that. So let's put the last piece in here. Oh, yeah, we'll get this out. But yeah, we should have a Nintendo. Mario and Luigi Brothership. There's another in the Mario and Luigi franchise. Fun games. A good time. You know, enjoyable. I don't have much to say about it other than, hell yeah. It's been many years. I believe 10 years. Coming out on Switch. Mario and Luigi Brothership comes out on Switch November 7th. But I believe that is 10 years since the last Mario and Luigi game. So plenty of Switch owners will have not played the original, or not the original, or any of them really. So a good time to jump on board with a fun game. One of the best incarnations of Luigi is in Mario and Luigi. Okay, so this is one of these stickers that like folds weird. It goes like this and then fold it over. I hate folding stickers. Hate them with a passion. I'm not good at applying them. No, that's not good. This is not right. So let's see if I can peel this sticker up without breaking it. Nope, I broke it. All right. Well, that's not great. So, I am not going to apply the other sticker. I can fuck around with this for a really long time and try to get it right, or I can cut my losses and just remove the sticker. I'm going to play around a little bit. If I don't feel good about it, then I will abandon it and just not put the other one on. I don't hate how this looks. It's not perfect by any means. I'm going to remove it. I'm not happy with it, how that looks. Not happy with how that turned out. Every once in a while, that does happen when I apply a sticker, and I just do it so badly that I say, you know what? What if this wasn't a sticker there? I think it's fine. It'll just be black. It'll be pure black. It's on the backpack. I'm not too worried about it. So we just won't apply the other one when the time comes. We'll try to apply the red sticker here that I got to put on, but we won't apply the other one. We'll just leave it like that. It happens on occasion. I am human. Sometimes I mess up. All right, let's put on 12. This one is another bendy sticker, but maybe we'll have better luck with it. Hate this. Just build the sticker up. Like, look, kudos to the people that design stickers like this that, like, you apply and then you bend and fold over and suddenly it looks great. Like, that's rad that people are that skilled to design a sticker like this, but why? Why am I doing this work? I kind of have to, like, figure out where this, like, where does it go? How does it work? Like, I know this will go like this, right? Obviously, that bends around here. It's going to bend like that. When this is then the lip of it, that. But this first one, I didn't do well enough. So there's now a gap of black here where it should be pinned together. So I have to kind of lift the first part up, pull it forward, because I need these two pieces to form a seam together. Otherwise, it doesn't look right. But it does look cool. If it worked right, it would look cool. All right. Also, Nintendo World Championship NES Edition has a date, July 18th, which is speedrunning challenges. We've seen some trailers for that before. That is a known quantity, but it still looks fun. And there was a trailer for that as well, and a release date. It's coming in July, which is soon. Fairy Tail 2. This was announced. It is a real-time strategy game, and it's coming out this winter. There is Fairy Tail. By the time this comes out, the Fairy Tail sequel anime will have already had its first season, because I believe it is a seasonal and not a continuous, which sometimes the other shows were, depending. I believe that is just hey, let's see if there's a market for this. I can't tell you for sure if that's the case, but I believe that is the case. So this was E, okay, and then the other one is F, great. This is going to go this. Great. Build in the backpack. This backpack is also, I believe, how the beam saber somehow attaches, the beam mantle, I believe, somehow attaches that, though I am somewhat unclear as how that works, but we'll come to it when we get there. Fantasian Neo Dimension was shown, which is from Sakaguchi-san from Final Fantasy creator, working on a turn-based role-playing game. And it is coming out this holiday. It looked like a Japanese RPG. Like, nothing really stood out to me about it other than that it was like, dang, that's a goddamn Japanese role-playing game, isn't it? There's a lot of RPGs here. RPGs fans fucking rejoice, because you were hopefully eating pretty well at this particular event. I think that was an Apple Arcade exclusive until now. Oh, okay. Well, cool. That's good. Nintendo Switch Sports. Basketball. Basketball is coming. We knew that. We knew basketball was coming, and now basketball is almost here. It's coming up this summer. 4 players can team up locally and online for basketball. We're getting the basketball that we were promised, everybody. Let's see. Mio Memories in Orbit. That's what Mio stands for, I guess. Looks fucking pretty gorgeous. Coming out sometime next year. That's a fun looking trailer to check out. It was a world premiere. And yeah, I think I don't know much about what's going on there. I didn't quite pick up a lot from it, but I thought it looked pretty dang cool. Kind of watercolory. Yeah, looked neat. Disney Illusion Island, which update. We that's already out. This is an update, and it is out. It came out on Tuesday. I forgot to update my list of me talking about things to include that information in everything. So my apologies if I miss out on any of that stuff. But yeah, they were like, hey, there's an update coming out. It's here. You can go play it if you want. So it's like, all right, okay. Sounds good. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Batsmaru is in this, everybody. Don't freak out. This was a mobile game that is now coming to Switch and PlayStation, Xbox. But Nintendo has the timed exclusive, so they're getting it before other people get it. So don't freak out if you're like, oh, I don't have a Switch or I don't want to play it on the Switch. You will be able to hang out with Batsmaru and Kitty and the frog, whose name I can't remember, but is pretty okay. The gator that has a lot of problems, it does not seem to be there. But yeah, that looks pretty cute. And I mean, it's like an Animal Crossing. Looks kind of like an Animal Crossing. Looks pretty fun. Oh. All right, let's put this. Now let's try to get this other sticker on. We should panel line these two a little bit here, but let's try to get this other sticker on. I'm going to try to get that sticker on just like the last one and have it look good. Because I did get this sticker on looking all right. So let's see if I can do it again. And Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports is just mini games. There's basketball and golf and soccer and tennis. I believe those are the 4. And that looks silly and fun. It's coming out this fall. I don't know. That seems like one of those games where you're just like, yeah, you should make that. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that should be a thing that exists. Sure, Looney Tunes Sports. Okay. Do the kids know Looney Tunes? I don't know. But they'll pick it up. It's a game. It feels like a game that your parents buy you. Because they're like, oh, the Looney Tunes and sports, that'll be fun. And then like maybe it's a good game. I don't know. But it definitely feels like a game for like the kids don't ask for their parents. The parents are just like, oh, I'll get that. Yes, of course, WB Discovery would love it if you remembered who they are. They would really appreciate it. Among Us had an update on Tuesday, and that was cool. And that was the end of a couple people I know's busy weekend change, dealing with all that stuff because the Nintendo Direct was over, and they're like, whew, now I can breathe. So congratulations to them for being able to breathe. But yeah, new update. You would be forgiven if you saw Farmagia and said, wait, didn't we already see this trailer? It's a farming simulator, but the the main character looks like the main character in Fairy Tale. And I'm gonna look this up because I was like I meant to look this up. For Farmagia, and I was like, is it based on something, and it was it done by the same guy? I think it's getting anime adaptation. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But like, games, yeah, okay. Extended trailer and feels a Kung Fu Generation theme. Yes, I know the Kung Fu Generation theme. Hiro Masuma's. Okay, yes. Okay, thank God. I'm not losing my mind. Okay, great. Hiro Masuma, the creator of this, also is the creator of Fairy Tale and Eden Zero, which is pretty recent, and Rave Master, which whips ass. Okay, the JRPG is coming this November on the Switch, and then there's other consoles stuff. And okay, yeah, that's his art style. Thank fucking God. I was like, either this is from the guy that made Fairy Tale, or they put someone's basically like aped his art style, and they put that on the same show as a Fairy Tale game, which would have been fucking wild. But okay. Yeah, because that main character fucking looks like Natsu from Fairy Tale, and I was like, and the main character from Eden Zero, because draws guys that look the same, or people look the same. Sometimes they just look the same. Sometimes they are the same voice actor as well. All right. So we got to flip this over, and then we could put on. Okay. Flip this over. You can't see it here. Oh, you can kind of see like that. This is where that gray sticker that I fucked up should go, but I'm just not going to put the gray stickers on there, and that's okay. All right, we have a little bit left of this backpack to put together. This is where the parts will connect to it when I want to put the beam mantle on, I guess. So it's C11 and C12, C14, 13. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. That's coming out January 16th. So that is holiday 2025 that we are getting the Wii game. Getting a Switch release. Tied people over until the Switch 2. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. That's the title. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake will come into Switch on November 14th. And then next year we are getting remakes of Dragon Quest 1 and Dragon Quest 2 in HD 2D. I guess they wanted, they've already re-released those so many times that they were waiting. But people are, I think, pretty psyched about 3. So, God, do I even need to talk about this? I don't know. Well, fine. There's a Funko Pops game. Funko Fusion is coming out. It's an action adventure game. It is a bunch of the Lego games rolled up into one, where the Lego's like, hey, we do this property and we do that property. Instead, they're like, no, the best part of Funko Pops is that there are so many of them. So it's like a bunch of different properties thrown together. It's just like, hey, the DeLorean is flying over the Jurassic Park. Hooray. Sorry, I can't pretend. I have never owned a Funko Pop. That is pulling it back. I have had in my possession once a Funko Pop, which I was gifted by a friend, and then I sold to make some money because it was an exclusive Funko Pop from an event, and I sold it and mailed it out while I was still at that event. Um, and that is what I think of Funko Pops. I was like, oh, cool. I can make a little bit of money with this. And I did make a little bit of money with it. All right, backpack going on. It seems like people claim Fortnite is. Yeah, it's very Ready Player One shenanigans. All right, there's our backpack on the kit here. Luigi's Mansion 2D. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, not 2D. HD. Okay, so now we got to build some weapons. You can build some beam sabers and some foot sabers and some shenanigans here. I think I showed the foot saber before, but we'll pop that on again. Where did did I drop one? There it is. There we go. You can put beam sabers on the feet, so we'll do that. We'll do a photo with all of the beam saber shenanigans on there and beam blades and all that other stuff. And then we'll do one with the beam. We would just do it all as one photo. I'm changing my mind mid sentence. The new Denpa Men feels like I was missing something in translation. That's coming out on the 25th. It seems like I was like, is this Tomodachi Life? Like a spiritual successor to Tomodachi Life? Is this another weird Animal Crossing? Is this like an old Japanese franchise that like is existed for 40 years and I just never heard of because it only came out in Japan and now it's getting a US release and people are like losing their goddamn minds? I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so, but I don't know. Oh, what's going on with it? All right, we are going to take a beam saber only, and then we'll do a sword and shield and beam backpack because these beam sabers come out. I'm going to pop this off and then pop this back on. Because this has a beam saber and a double beam saber. Okay, that goes on that side. That's that. And then this is the regular beam sabers. We got so many beam sabers here to deal with. I think it was a weird 3-day series of small games. Okay, yeah, Lord Crashton, I don't pretend to know. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, coming out. It came out. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded came out on Tuesday. Surprise. Darkest Dungeon 2 is Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming out July 15th. I believe there is a thing where you can play Darkest Dungeon. You can just like play the whole game for a limited time. Correct me if I am wrong. You haven't heard that, but I believe that is the case where you can just play that game because they want people to check that game out. That seemed neat. On the Switch, I should say specifically. Okay, and then I can attach these two. I can take off. Pop that off. Pop this back on. And I can take these. Oh, yeah. Not these, it's the other beam sabers. This kit came with a lot of beam sabers, which is fun. And then there was a Switch Online update. Let's see. Which is, the Legend of Zelda Link of the Past Four Swords, Metroid Zero Mission, Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, Perfect Dark coming to Nintendo Switch Online. The expansion thing. That came out this week. They're coming online. So if that is something that you're into, you check that out. And you can play Four Swords online with friends, and that is new. Used to be always have to link things together. Link. You don't have to link that stuff together anymore. You can do it if you want just through online, which is neat. All right, so then this beam saber can attach to this beam saber here and can slide in there. And now I have a double beam saber and a beam saber. I got a lot of beam sabers now. And I got the foot sabers and the whole thing. I'm going to take a photo like this, and then we'll take the sabers out, and then we'll do the sword and the shield version, because that also looks cool. We'll get that done. Phantom Brave, the Lost Hero. Looks cute. That's another RPG coming out next year. That looks very, very cute. That seemed fun. The big one, here's one of the big ones. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Game Collection. The arcade classics. 7 games. It's coming out to multiple things, not just Switch. People are already mad that it's $50, and to them I say, hey, I agree with you, but get used to the fact that 50 is the new 40, because 70 is now 80. Or sorry, 60 is now 70. 60 is now 70, so 40 is now 50. And yes, now the budget lower price games are $50. Capcom's not afraid of sales. Yeah, Capcom. I mean, maybe not a Nintendo. If you want to play this collection on the Switch, which it does seem maybe strange, but there are people who probably want to do that because that's their home console. That sale might not be good for you. But if you also like sales, you want to wait because they do that. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, Lord Crashington. Super Mario Party Jamboree is coming. A bunch of new boards, new mini games. 5 new boards from previous games. Up to 20 players can complete online in new modes. Nintendo said October 17th. It's a lot of goddamn Mario Party. If you are not interested in this Mario Party, I understand, but it's coming, so look out. The idea of playing Mario Party with 19 other people seems impossible to me. The very concept of a 20-player Mario Party is astounding to consider. I don't know what else to say about that. And then Echoes of Wisdom. Hey, there's a Zelda game where you play as Zelda. That feels kind of like a big fucking deal. To have a Zelda game where the main character is Zelda. That's coming out September 26th. I don't know, that fucking feels kind of big. Now, I know some people are saying, why doesn't Zelda just have a sword and a shield? Well, to that I say, 1, Nintendo's inherent belief that, the target audience for this isn't going to be necessarily Legends of Zelda fanatics, but people that are looking for a cute game. And then 2, Zelda's not a warrior. Zelda's a mage. So she's just using telekinetic mage powers to move objects. It's just an application of magic, y'all. I don't hate it. I think that looked cute as hell and looks fun. And I love the idea of Zelda doing stuff. I don't know. That's cool to me. I think that's neat. 2024, y'all. Zelda can be in charge. Nintendo Switch Hyrule Edition looked pretty nice. There's a Just Dance game. Because of course there is. Because we exist in this world. And this dimension has those games. And it would be maybe weird at this point if they didn't. Lego Horizon Adventures. We've heard about that before. That's coming holiday. Stray. Stray is coming. That feels like a fun platform for Stray. I hope it's optimized well for it, but that feels right. Stray on the Switch makes sense to me. That's coming a holiday as well. No exact date on that one, but holiday. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. I did not like look. Hey, I didn't like looking at this trailer. I don't know. There was something about this trailer that I was like, I don't like this. But it's like a sim game. It's like a sim game, but for hobbits. I don't know. I know some people were pretty psyched about this one, but for whatever reason, the art style of this hit me wrong, and I don't quite know why. But I was looking at it, and I went, I don't want to keep looking at this. All right, we got our beam, or sorry, we got our sword here. It's not even a beam sword; it's just a sword. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is another Ace Attorney game. 2 games coming together. So 2 in 1, which seems like a good deal. The 100-line Last Defense Academy. It's coming out sometime next year. That seemed okay. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. Turn-based stuff. Turn-based strategy game. I have never been particularly enamored with Romancing Saga stuff. And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Sometime next year. Now, again, this game did get rebooted in 2019 after being announced in 2017, so it makes sense that they're still a ways off. That's all they said. I thought the trailer looked neat. I like the Metroid Prime games. I am a fan. I am not a hater of Metroid Prime stuff. So I thought that looked pretty neat. And I was like, okay, yeah, all right. We'll see. But yeah, pretty happy about it. And that was the Nintendo Direct. I thought there was a lot of stuff. I know some people were like, well, this is the E3 window, and that seems really weak for the E3 window. To which I will say, divorce yourself from E3. It doesn't exist anymore. It can't hurt you. And it also shouldn't be your expectation for announcements, because now announcements just happen when they happen. They happen throughout the year. They happen at a drop of the hat with no notice. They're like, hey, there'll be a Direct in 2 days, and then you can get psyched about the next Direct. But yeah, that would have looked like a little bit of a weak E3, time frame, because they weren't at E3, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. That would have looked a little weak, but also they got a new console coming out at some point that they're not ready to talk about. So yeah, this would have been a weak showing, but it still had some games, and everybody was weak this year compared to the belief that of what E3 still needs to be for some people to exist, but isn't, because Summer Game Fest is not E3. To the point where, if you want to see something there, you needed an appointment. They had place to see games, but they didn't just have kiosks that you could walk up to. You need an appointment. There were a few, but those were for people that had already seen an appointment. They had a couple of games here or there. But that was an appointment-only show for most people. So, it's just different. It's just a different beast. There hasn't been an E3 for 5 years, and people haven't gotten over it. Yeah, they're just... Summer Game Fest is a replacement in the schedule for E3, but it allows people to redirect their focus on when they want to make announcements and how they want to make announcements. Because, you don't have to have... People were like, well, is EA not going to do anything? It's why do they have to? Why would they have to do something? Why do they have to have an EA Play? Because you need it? Because of your memories of what E3 was, you need to have every major publisher having Capcom has to have a presentation, because otherwise, what? I understand E3 was an important milestone for a lot of people. It was a meeting ground for developers to get together. It was a showcase of a bunch of stuff. It was an event that was important to some people, but this doesn't have, like, it can be different. It can just be a different thing. I just think that people need to redirect some of their expectations about this. And like, that was said, and people were still like, oh, well, they didn't really have enough stuff that I want, and they don't make games that I like anymore. And it's like, yeah, they might they might have stopped doing that. Like, when I say that, I am not trying to be an asshole. I come off like an asshole when I say, when people were like, no, they're just not making games anymore. When people say that, like, oh, they are. They're just not making games for you anymore because you're a different person than you used to be. You've grown and changed. Or, alternatively, you haven't changed at all, and other people, including game developers, have changed around you, which is the scariest thing. Because sometimes people were like, oh yeah, well, I found a new appreciation for turn-based strategy games, or, I used to like horror games, but I don't feel it anymore, so I'm not even going to try for that. But really, what people were like, they don't make the kind of games that I used to like to play, is a tough pill to swallow. Because you want to be like, okay, you might be wrong about it. You might be. There's a possibility that you may be left behind by the hobby that you've enjoyed for a long time. And that can be rage-inducing for some people, that they're just not making the style of game that you like, or the whatever. Or like, I heard it from a few people. There are a couple, like some StarCraft folks are making a game, and people were like, you just collect resources and build things. You don't have, they optimized it. That's not the kind of game I want to play. And it's like, okay, you don't have to play that one. Okay. Yeah. They aren't making, yes, they aren't making the exact game that you would have bought 20 years ago. They're going to try to make something to bring in new people to the small little subgenre that you grew up loving. And I can understand why some people were like, well, they're not going to make that game for me. It's like, okay, yeah, they might not be. Might have to look harder to find it, or try something new. Because I bet if you asked 10 years ago, if you were like, hey, Alex Navarro, do you want to try this truck driving game? This truck driving simulator game? I don't know if Alex Navarro would have been like, fuck yeah. But 2024 Alex Navarro was like, fuck yeah. Because we grow and change. Maybe he would have. Maybe 2014 Alex Navarro would have been like, yeah, all right. But I don't know. Who can say? It's interesting out there. These games are out there that are cool. But maybe not always the coolest they could be. We are almost done with our shield here, and then we will be building our beam mantle, and then we will be able to finish up this build, which has been fantastic. I've enjoyed this kit very much. But we're going to take a pause here. Little Christian says, I'm playing Ghost Hunter for the PS2 that just released a PS5, and looked up reviews to see that Alex reviewed it for GameSpot. He gave it an 8, so it was pretty good in that day. Yes, an 8, a PS2 game with an 8 is pretty great. That's pretty good for GameSpot. It's clearly the kids that are wrong. That is why this 4-hour essay, I'll explain everything wrong with Star Wars Acolyte. So, like, yeah. I can't. It is difficult to have a nuanced take on things that gets dumped on for shit reasons when you have critical thoughts on it. It's hard to. Because I will just say, Star Wars Acolyte does not seem particularly great, but also a lot of people are hating it for the garbage reasons you would expect. And it's difficult to be like, well, I don't hate it because of the obvious terrible reasons to hate it. I hate it for these other things. I also can't say that I hate it because they retconned some dates that were established in books that are no longer canon, because that's what some people are mad about. Wikipedia changed some dates of some events to reflect the in-canon dates that are quote-unquote retconned, that are retconning dates that were from stuff that is not canon anymore. And a reminder that Wikipedia is just a thing that exists because people, it's just a wiki. It's just a wiki called Wikipedia. But imagine being mad at people at Wikipedia. Imagine. Yes, it's hard to have nuanced opinions. You have to couch criticism in, I don't hate this for this, this, and this. I just think that these things are a little off. And it makes it difficult to have those conversations. Yeah. Gotta figure that shit out. You gotta figure out your life and why you hate things so hard. Try to redirect to some joy. That's all I can say. Speaking of joy, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw those emotes in chat. I would love to see them because that brings me joy. My friend of the stream, Xandra, made these emotes, and 3 of those emotes are my face as various character things. And that's just a weird thing that exists in this world, and I love that. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the blue emote, or maybe 2 years, but maybe one time. What does it mean? But yeah, throw those emotes in the chat if you're a subscriber. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You could, if you're resubbing or jumping in, I always like to see that so we can say thank you. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. Everything I'm mentioning here is optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you would like to, I would love it if you wanted to get on board with the Build Bear Workshop. We're currently at 44 subscribers. The goal is to get to 88. My birthday is this Sunday. I will be turning 44 years old. So I want to reach double my age. And that is all part of the thing that I will promote at the end of the stream. But I'll just say, hey, save the date. Friday, June 21st, that's tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, a special stream, my birthday subathon. Video games and wrestling stuff, and wrestling video games and McNuggets, and it's going to be fun. Should remind you, no stream on Saturday. Taking Saturday off because I am streaming tomorrow, and I did not want to stream 3 days in a row because I am not that kind of streamer. But I do want to make sure that people knew that. That I will not be streaming this Saturday. I'll be back on Monday with streaming, but tomorrow, obviously, is the bonus. If you want to support me through gifting a sub, you could do that here. If you want to gift the sub to somebody in the community anonymously or take credit, bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to join Harold and the Bit Sub leaderboard, the cheerleader board, you could do that as well. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear if you want to support me but not spend any money here on Twitch. Or through Twitch. I understand. I hear you. That's why I have the Patreon as an alternative. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free. Check out some of the videos that I make over there. Love for that. Also, while you're there, if you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that I put up yesterday about the Big O, you would have already seen that. We'll talk more about that in a second. Those are all monthly ways to support me on a monthly basis. But if you were just like, I don't know, Pat, do you have a tip jar? Well, I have a Ko-fi and I have a PayPal account. And you can send money that way if you want. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I take money out to buy model kits. The kit that I am about to be building, the next kit on my hit list, it was an expensive kit that happened to be on sale, and it was not as expensive as it has been, but it was still pricey. I was able to pick that kit up because of your generosity. Past you is helping out present and future me, which is wild. Now, the kit that I'm currently working on, someone who remains anonymous because they asked to be anonymous, bought the Shi-ve-A off my Amazon wish list, and I was happy to build that because I don't put shit on my wish list that I don't want to build. So if you want to celebrate my birthday by buying me something to build in the future, you could do that through my Amazon wishlist. That's the easiest way to do that. If you want to buy a kit, because it will jump the queue, become the next thing I build. So when I'm done with the next thing that I'm working on, which will probably at least start unpacking tonight, I'll start working on the thing that you bought. I have inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. I have Pokemon and Digimon and Gunpla and Lego sets of all variety, cars, real cars, and fake things like a hot dog food truck that's shaped like a hot dog in a bun. I recently added Char's Gelgoog. I've built the Gelgoog before, but I have built the Gelgoog Marine, not Char's Red Gelgoog. I believe it is the only Char vehicle that I have not built. Or mech vehicle. It's the only Char mech I haven't built yet. And I like building a red model kit. So the Gelgoog is there. It's Char's Gelgoog. It's recently added to the list. I'd love to build that kit. Yeah, all kinds of different stuff that I'd be happy to put together. See if there's something on there. And there's some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to give people an alternative. In this case, the alternative is a bunch of random gear in case you want to buy something for me, but you don't know anything about model kits or you have no preference, but you think that it would be nice if I had a new set of some tools. You could do that. Okay, also, I have an alternative to Amazon because maybe you want to help me out, but you don't want to buy anything through Amazon. I fucking understand. I got a throne wish list. It's mostly gear and gift cards, but you can go there if you want to do that. And then also you can always go to the most convoluted way to support me financially. I save it for last because it's not simple, but people have done it. You go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card there. They send you a gift card code in your email. Then you send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon, because I'm on all of those, with that gift card code, and I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And you can make a suggestion. You can be like, oh, you should pick this kit up. Or you can just be like, buy something, Pat, and I'll pick something out. Again, that is the most convoluted way to support me, the silliest way to support what I do here. If you want to do that, you can. We're going to get back to building, but I just want to quickly promote a few more things, then we'll get into building and talking about manga and anime. Well, actually, manhwa, I should say. I have a Discord. Join my Discord. It's full of awesome folks. You are welcome to come hang out in the Discord. It would be neat if you did. Again, you certainly don't have to, but if you want to jump in the old Discord, come hang out there. Couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. Now, on Tuesday, I recorded a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club that will go live on Monday, because I record that in advance. But the most recent Pat Baer's Anime Club that is out, that you can just watch now, if you want to watch now, is my deep dive into the many spin-offs, TV shows, movies, also rans for the Tenchi Muyo Greater Universe. Not to be confused with Tenchi Universe. But there's a lot of Tenchi Muyo and its many spin-offs, and I talked about all of them. And then, of course, there's Kuma Baer, which is my weekly anime recommendation series. And this week, I'm talking about The Big O, which is a seminal work of cool dude mech series, because June is mech month, and I wanted to recommend The Big O, which unfortunately you can't watch on a streaming service. High Dive used to have 2 seasons of The Big O, but they don't anymore. Crunchyroll doesn't have it. Amazon, Netflix, nobody's got it legally. 2B doesn't have it. You can't watch it. So you have to buy it on old DVDs or expensive Blu-rays or other means, if you want to. But yes, it is as an adult school classic. I talk about The Big O and how and why The Big O rules. It's in it looks like Batman. It's like a butler. It's a negotiator who acts like Batman with a butler and a robot maid partner and a giant mech, and it's cool as shit. Big O is neat. Strong premise, cool action, great vibes. Goddamn, the Big O. Is the Big O even worth watching without the original theme song anyway? Lashbrook, you want to get the collection, so you get all the music. You watch it how you want to watch. I would recommend watching the Adult Swim promo video for the Big O first, so you get that voice for pure nostalgia. If you are nostalgia about Big O, you want to hear the voice of Tom talk about with the Big O, because it does make that better. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a manhwa that I have been reading, and then I will talk about an anime that I have been watching. We're going to get caught up. I did not get a chance to watch the latest episode of The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio. I will cover that soon. I'll get to all of that. I think Monday we might talk about 4 anime, because Whisper Me a Love Song should be back with a new episode. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna talk about 4 shows or break it up. I'd probably push Whisper Me a Love Song to next Thursday, and maybe do double Many Sides. I don't know. I haven't decided yet how I'm gonna do that. We'll figure it out. But I am gonna talk about a manhwa that I've been reading, a South Korean comic, and then we'll talk about an anime that I'm watching. But before I can do either of those things, I need to dramatically transition back to the overhead so we can finish up the shield and the beam cape, and then beam mantle. I also need to drink water because I'm in need of that. And we're going to do that right now. All right. So let's continue working on this here. And then let's talk about a manhwa that I have been reading lately. And then we'll also, after that, talk about an anime that I have been watching. We're getting caught up. We'll talk about 2 episodes of a show. Because I'm still way behind on Bartender, Glass of God. But I have some thoughts on 2 of the episodes from that, because I am slowly getting caught up on that show. But before that, I need to talk to you. I became the youngest prince in the novel. So, I really love this. This is not an isekai, but it is structurally an isekai. This is a reincarnation story. Actually, you know what? It's weird because it is and isn't an isekai. Okay, so here's the premise. The first chapter is that the first emperor of the world. We are looking at the first emperor of the world. He has conquered the world. He's united the world. He has magic abilities. This is a fantasy world. He's cool as hell. He's strong as hell. And he's a little bored because there hasn't been a lot of action. So he's been reading this hot new fantasy novel series. He's been reading these books, and he's been enjoying them. And the novel is called The Chronicles of the Hero of Frosimar. Frosimar. And it's about the future. So basically, someone wrote like a fictional story set in a version of that world, that the emperor's world, in the future, and like one of his descendants like fails, and the protagonists fail, and it is a depressing story. And our main character here is bummed about it. He's like kind of pissed off. He's like, that's not how I would do it. I wouldn't fail the way that the main character did. I wouldn't struggle the way he did. I'm not pleased with how this book turned out. You know, he's a real snob about the story. It didn't have a happy ending, so he's not happy with it. And he dies. He falls asleep and he dies, and he is a minor character in that story. So it is a reincarnation or a summoning or something. And he is in a fantasy world, but it's a world that is loosely based on his world. And he's like, immediately springs into action. It was just kind of awesome. Yeah, so he's not supposed to be the main character of this story. He was the prince who was kind of in prison, kind of trapped. He was the prince that didn't do anything. There isn't much said about him. But because he was the first emperor, historically the first emperor who had all these cool abilities and powers, and he also read the novel and was really engaged with the novel up until he didn't like the ending, he's got a combination of being incredibly powerful and knowing character beats and what's coming and what to prepare for. And there are some things that we're not like, there are events that he's dealing with where he's like, well, events have changed because of this, this, and this, so I know that that's different. But he's also like, well, they didn't really talk too much about this from the novel. I don't remember everything about this, so I'll just kind of figure things out. But the primary thing is there are demons. He fucking hates that. He's not going to let this country get taken over by demons, or the empire get taken over by demons. Also, there's a succession battle. And he's like, well, I'm going to win that because I'm going to be the emperor because I know all this shit. He finds the secret organization that chooses to serve him. He takes control of someone who late in the game or world would have been a nightmare to fight, or the story world would have been a nightmare to fight, and basically controls her, which is great. He makes some allies here and there, and some people who probably wouldn't have sided with him now are siding with him. And he kills a lot of fucking demons. And it's very funny because people are just like, what the fuck happened to the prince? And everyone's convinced like, well, either he's possessed by a demon or he was hiding his abilities. There is I think, incredibly funny scene where someone steps up to convince, they have been put up by his older brother to basically, who is, next in line to be the emperor. But he is basically set up, he sets up like a fall guy in case something goes wrong to say that, oh, clearly the young prince has been claimed by a demon or controlled by a demon. And so they do this big show of that, like, okay, get ready to arrest him once we reveal this. And then nothing happens because he's not a demon. He's just really powerful. And it's very fun. The look, it is a great moment where this dude is just completely fucking like flabbergasted that he was wrong, that he got put up, to the point where I think he might have assumed that he had been set up by the other prince. Is this a great fucking story? Is this like a generational story that like is unbelievable? And oh, Pat, I can't believe I'm loving this so much. It's one of my favorite things in the whole goddamn world. No, it's good. It's just good. All right, so we got to turn this over. We got to pull these up. What are we doing here? Turn this part over. And then it has like, I'm confused. Oh, I have to take off part. Okay, I understand now. Sorry, everybody. I couldn't understand this. I have to disassemble this, and I'm putting the cloth in between them. That's what's happening. I could not understand that. I have to... I still don't understand. This stays on here. I messed that up. Okay, so then this comes out, but it's not the full thing. I think I took both of them out, but I don't want to take both of them out. I just want to take one out. Anyway, the manhwa was pretty good. I would describe that manhwa as pretty cool. If you're unfamiliar with manhwa, South Korean comics, it is you read it vertically. I would describe it as pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet book that I have been enjoying. Okay, so this comes up like that. Now I understand. These instructions were not great. This booklet has had pretty good instructions about everything, but it didn't quite explain this to me. So yeah, is it? There's so far there hasn't been a lot of parts where it's like, oh shit, our guy is in trouble now. He's being overwhelmed because he does remember. He has a good memory and he has a good access to powers. So yeah, he's doing okay. Our main character is doing just fine. This beam mantle looks rad as hell. I love the color treatment on this. I think it looks so great. Oh, it's neat. All right, and then I got to put this on like this. Put this on like this. And there it is. There's the beam mantle, which is now going to go back on the backpack here. And we'll take a photo of it from the back side here so you can really see the mantle and how it looks. I almost never take a photo of a model kit from the back of it. And then we can jump to talking about some anime here in a second. Camera out here. Bartender, Glass of God. I watched episodes 9 and 10 of Bartender, Glass of God. There are 2 more. It is over now. It finished up this week, but I am been behind on it because although I should say, I was about to say, because nothing really happens in it. It's just an easy watch. Some stuff has happened in this show, so it is good to talk about that. Some shenanigans did take place in these 2 episodes, so I'll tell you about that as I take some photos of this beautiful looking kit. So our main character, Ryu, gets asked to find a hidden bar, and they are searching for this bar, and they end up at a place called the North Wind, which turns out to be a bar run by Kitakata, who is Ryu's senpai. They were trained under the same master, which is cool. They haven't seen each other for 8 years. There has been some events in the past here, I guess. We watch him make something called a Bloody Caesar, which has a lot of vodka and tomato juice because it disguises the taste of alcohol, so that way this person gets drunk very fast. And Ryu is like, what the fuck? What are you doing here? Like, you're hiding the alcohol content. What are we talking about? Well, it turns out this guy was brought in by someone who is forced to be a hostess. And so getting that person drunk was just to protect her, which was weird. A weird bit of business. So he was doing the right thing, but he was basically helping her scam clients. And then later we see Kitakata and that woman come to Eden Hall, and he makes some drinks that are slightly different and changes them up. And Kitakata is impressed. And then they go to Goro Kase. Goro Kase is their mentor. And he is in the hospital. And he is does not have much time left to live, it seems like. Kase asks Ryu about the Glass of God and if he is still trying to find it. Then Miwa, who met Kitakata before, is like, hey, why doesn't Ryu want to work the Cardinal Hotel? That's the whole reason of this story. That's the whole thing we've been building here, is trying to get Ryu to work at this hotel. And we find out the reason is because Ryu in Europe, which is where he was making his name, he won a cocktail contest, a cocktail competition. But one of his clients died. And Ryu blames himself. And so he came to Japan to just live modestly and not famous. And basically, he's just trying to maybe even forget that or have some sort of penance, which is heavy. That is a heavy thing to find out. That is the reason why we finally know why our main character is not is not on the trying to work at this expensive, cool bar, is because he feels responsible for the death of a client. That either he contributed to it or caused it. We don't quite know. Which is fucking heavy. That's episode 9. And then episode 10, Goro Kase, the mentor, is been able to leave the hospital for a little while. And so Kitakara and Ryu reunite for temporarily for one day only to open up Bar Kaze. And it's basically like opening up a bar the way he would have ran a bar with his two of his proteges, and it is an excuse for bartenders who have also known him or studied under him to come and pay their respects, and it's really nice. And Kase even makes a couple drinks for the guests, and they help him out. And it's this show has been like, oh, this person likes this. Here's a new character and all that. And Kase, this is the second episode where we meet him, right? But it's still the sweetest episode of the whole thing, like the whole show. Like, it's really kind of beautiful. This is the man that Ryu learned that being a bartender is not just about making drinks. It's like it's a lifestyle choice to be a bartender and to fill people's desires that way. Then so that's the big part of the episode, and then later in the episode, we have a whole thing where Miwa broke a bottle of wine which her dad bought to reconcile with his father, so her grandfather, 25 years ago. He bought this because he was like, someday my dad and I will patch things up, and when we do, I want us to drink this wine. And she broke that before they can actually have their meeting, which is fucked. She fucked up. She broke it at some point. This is not recently. This is some point she did it. So he figures out what it is and gets it and presents it to the grandfather. And he's very happy that Miwa thought of her. And he's very impressed with Ryu. And that ends on like a nice little note. Bartender Glass of God. There are 2 more episodes that I have not seen yet. I will at some point talk about them on stream. Here's a very big box, everyone. We'll get into this tonight, but we're not going to get too deep into it. That'll be on Monday. This is, well, at least we can look at all of the parts here for the Gundam Aerial Full Mechanics. And we'll probably get started with it, but we'll say we're starting on Monday. We'll use the old Pat's starting. But we'll at least look at this gorgeous looking kit. This is a 1/100 scale Full Mechanics, which is their replacement for it's not a master grade, but it's not a high grade. It's the 1/100 scale. It's kind of an RE100. There's usually things they call gimmicks. So there's some kind of thing. And it's detailed in most places. And should be pretty fucking cool. So we'll start getting that kind of organized here. And while I'm doing that, I will also tell you a little about the games that I've been playing. And you can in chat, if you would like, you can tell me what you're watching, what you're playing, what you're into. I always love hearing from people about that. I will tell you that I am only about an hour into Night Springs, the DLC for Alan Wake 2. I got gifted the upgrade, quote unquote. The upgrade gives you access to this DLC and another DLC coming out later. But I was gifted the upgrade, which is very kind, as a birthday gift. So I was gifted the money to buy the upgrade. I should make that clear. So I was able to pick that up, and Alan Wake 2 Night Springs DLC is it's deep in the Remedyverse. I am only an hour and change into the game, but I'm already like, oh, okay, oh, that's from that, and that's from this, and the parts that are kind of like connected feel really good. It already is really fun. Some of the weapons are cool. There's a bunch of control stuff, like immediate connections to control. Ooh, I didn't fool. Yeah, we'll just do that. There we go. It feels very much like there's a pretty good third-party LED kit for this as Lashbrook. Oh, that's neat. Those are always fun. Oh, you got a cool big beam blade for the Ariel for the gun, so it can become a gun blade. Love that. And nice big beam sabers. And then we got some cool chrome. Some cool decked out chrome here. Excited about that. All right, we'll do that and F2 and F3. Great. I guess I could do beams in the box. Sorry, I'm just sorting right now so I can get all this together. Make my life easier. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Just figuring out where I'm going to be putting on some shelves, and then we can get into that. Speaking of the Ariel, the Blu-rays just went up for pre-order. Oh, nice. Yeah. There was also some Bandai stuff, pre-orders. I do not have money for Bandai kits right now. Premium Bandai kits, I should say. I always have money for Bandai, but I don't have money for premium Bandai kits. I do have one last pre-order that is shipping in July. I got one last kit coming in July, so that'll arrive at some point. All right. Well, looks like we're starting with the arms instead of the head or the chest, which is weird. That's a weird place to start. But we are doing that. There is undergating, so we will have to be cautious of that. But this is a kit from 2023, so we will be able to hopefully read everything that's in there. So yeah, Alan Wake 2 DLC, Night Springs, very fun. Some fun weapons, cool character stuff. It is very much going for Twilight Zone, and I like that. It's gorgeous, and I've been really impressed with it so far. It's been a very enjoyable DLC. Still playing Hearthstone. Got a bunch of decks. We're going to take a look at some of those decks tomorrow. And I played a little bit of Helldivers 2 on Tuesday. Didn't play anything yesterday, but on Tuesday I played a little bit of Helldivers 2. And that was very fun. Helldivers 2 continues to be pretty great. But I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? What's got you going? I always love to hear from you about gaming or books or movies or whatever. Last night, watched some wrestling. Watched Dynamite, and then I watched a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show from last weekend that was not streamed. So the archives went up. There were 2 shows. I watched one of them. There's another one I got to check out at some point. And that was really fun. God, the idea of Bryan Danielson and Shingo Takagi is wild. And then I don't think it will happen, but there exists the possibility that Bryan Danielson is going to lose to Pac. Because Pac won his match. So Pac is in the semifinals for the Owen Hart tournament. And I could see Pac winning the whole thing. Now, there is a wild card. There's a wild card, and we don't know who it is. That wild card could be Hangman Adam Page. And then Hangman Adam Page could win the whole thing and face Swerve Strickland in the main event of All In 2024. And that makes a lot of fucking sense. But in my world, it's Pac versus Will Ospreay. Because I just have a feeling that Swerve is going to lose to Will Ospreay. So Will Ospreay goes in as champion. I'm feeling less likely about that because it looks like the people that would normally help and cheat, even though he doesn't want them to help and cheat, it does feel like he's going to be attacked by the Don Callis family. Like, that does feel probable. So in that case, well, then it doesn't matter. But I don't know. Swerve beating Will just doesn't quite feel right. Yes, Shingo Takagi and AR Fox are wrestling on SmackDown, or not SmackDown, Rampage, which is on after SmackDown. It would be wild if they were on SmackDown. No, they're on Rampage. That is pretty fucking cool. Good for AR Fox. It's great for AR Fox. No, I could see. I don't think that it's going to happen at All In, but maybe it's Will Ospreay versus Daniel Garcia at All In for the international title, but that just seems weird. I don't know. That sounds like that feels more like a Dynamite or a Collision match. So I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities out there. That card looks good. I'll say that already right now. Forbidden Door looks pretty fucking great. Okay, so let's see. Gotta go. Goes like that, and then that goes. And that goes like this. I think I am assembling this correctly. We'll see. This kit does not have poly caps, which is awesome for full mechanics. Love to see that. It is nice to build 2 kits in a row without poly caps. I should say, Lashbrook says, speaking of the Blu-rays, and then Lord Crashton says, I watched Atlas on Netflix. That was pretty solid movie that mixes Titanfall with AI Terminator stuff. Okay, that seems neat. I do have Netflix right now. Maybe I should watch that. I don't know if I will, but that does sound neat. So thank you for letting me know. Okay. I believe I have built these 2 pieces properly. These do look right. They feel very stiff, but that might be on purpose because I believe these are the shoulder pieces, so you don't really have to move them too much. But yes, I believe I have built these correctly. So we can put those aside. We're doing the arms basically all at the same time here. Yeah, it's going to go in there. Now we can build more of the shoulders. Now we do have some undergating to deal with. Undergating just means that there are some extra little bits of plastic that you have to just clip off. You could use a knife, or you could use your snippers if you just want to use that. I guess I should just bring up, because we have a little time left in the stream while I get started on this. I'll just bring up the Forbidden Door. Right now there are 8 matches, 9 if you include the comments made by Jeff Cobb, which have not been confirmed by AEW. But Jeff Cobb in a New Japan Pro backstage interview, a post-show interview, Jeff Cobb was like, I'm going to Forbidden Door with the New Japan World Television Championship for an open challenge. AEW has never said anything about that. I don't know if he just said it and they were like, leave it in, because maybe, or they were thinking about it, or what. But that has not been confirmed. It's just been stated, so I don't know. So if we believe Jeff Cobb's promo, there are 9 matches, and if not, we don't know. But we got Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Again, a couple weeks ago, I would have said, it's definitely going to be Will. Now I'm thinking maybe they're going to keep it on Swerve, especially because, well, they're setting up like Swerve versus the Elite. So him being champion and fighting the Elite, like, while champion makes the most sense. But they could pivot if they wanted to pivot away from that. So I don't know. Maybe they'll pivot away. But it feels like they shouldn't pivot from that. So who knows? All right, so those got to go there, and those have undergating, and then 22 also has undergating, so we got to be careful of that. We also have Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Jack Perry versus Dante Martin versus Lio Rush. Oh, shit, sorry. Sorry, everybody. My apologies. I spoiled something. Versus TBD. I spoiled a thing that happens on Rampage because someone on Wikipedia spoiled it. Rampage was taped after Dynamite. Lio Rush has qualified for the ladder match for the AW TNT Championship. My apologies, friends. I read that out loud I didn't catch myself in time, so I apologize that I did read a spoiler for Friday. And I don't know when we're going to find out who the sixth person is, if that's going to be on Collision or if that's going to be on Dynamite next week. Lashbrook hasn't watched much, been continuing to play retro games, including most of the games on that upcoming MVC collection. Nice. Hell yeah. All right, so this doesn't have any nubbins. This has some nubbins. Let's see if I can find the nubbins. Often, when I don't notice them, I go to put a part on, and then it doesn't fit quite right, and then I realize, oh, there was undergating. It does show up here. They usually put little arrows. They put arrows, so they're like, hey, there's an undergating piece like right there. And you go and look at it and you go, oh, yeah, you're right. Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaquer for the winner-take-all TBS title and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. They're both on the line. So I assume that means that Mercedes is going to be a double champion. Because it would be kind of weird if it went the other way. So I'm just going to assume that this is Mercedes winning, becoming Mercedes 2 belts. And who knows how long she'll keep one. And then maybe Willow beats her for the New Japan Strong title and not the TBS title or something. I don't know. Timeless Tony Storm with Luther versus Mina Shirakawa. And Mariah May will be at ringside for both competitors. She will not be coming out with either. She'll be coming out with both. I hope she does entrances with both of them because that would be very funny. Or maybe she's already in the ring. Who knows? And for the answer, can they coexist? No. It's going to be fun. And I believe we're going to be leading directly into shenanigans in the future. My guess is that she ultimately, Mariah, sides with Toni Storm, but then wins the Owen and gets a chance to face her for the world belt at All In. And that's the All In match. That's my guess anyway. Who knows? This did not have any nubbins to get off here, but it does have, there are undergating on F312 and A6. Okay. F312 is... F3 is... the cool chrome pieces. And then A6 must be the clear, which is going to go over the chrome. Yes. Okay. Lower Crash says, sorry. I have been playing more Fallout 76 and experienced my first close-up view of the nuke, which was a cool sight to see that makes the area highly radiated for a while. I fought my first Mothman. Fuck yeah. You always remember your first Mothman. That was about 10 levels higher than me, so I played chicken and took pot shots at it from behind a tree as my only cover. It wrecked my armor and wore out my primary gun. Fuck yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta cheese it. Just gotta cheese that monster. You're gonna try to win, but you're gonna do what you gotta do to win. And sometimes what you gotta do to win is hide. Just gotta fucking go for it. Alright, let me see if I can clip this out here without causing any problems. Got little nubbins to take off here. All right, this should work. Now we need to put this in like this. Nope, the other way. To other way. So that is some cool looking chromed out piece, and then we will put the clear piece in over it. And I will hopefully get this right the first time. I did not. Flip it around. Try to get it right this time. Don't feel... Yes. All right, great. That looks pretty cool. We have done this on the high grade. We have done this with stickers, with the inverted stickers where they were sticky on the cool chrome part, and you stuck it underneath a piece of clear plastic. We've done that, and we've also done it putting the sticker on and then putting the clear plastic on there. Instead of stickers, it is just plastic, and that is cool. Chromed out looking plastic. That rules. Just going down the list here. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. No title on the line. This fucking rules. This is the cool shit that you... This is the kind of stuff where you're like, yes, this is why Forbidden Door should exist. Is so you can have a match that both these guys have wanted for a really long time, that where nothing is on the line except bragging rights. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. Fuck yeah, that rules. It's one of those things where like... It's a match that probably should have happened at an indie, like a big indie should have paid a lot of money for that to be like the semi-main event. Instead, it's like probably going to be like in the middle of the show as a palate cleanser. But it's such a cool idea. Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which will either go on first or last. My guess is it's going to go on last. And Swerve versus Will is going to go on first. That's my guess, that they'll this time around, Forbidden Door will end with the IWGP Championship because it's Naito and it's Moxley. Jeff Cobb's open challenge, again, who knows if that's real. And then MJF versus Hechicero, which is a weird fucking matchup because you don't think about MJF working Lucha. Hechicero is definitely a heel, and so that works out for MJF. There's not much time for them to cut promos, which is great. Although I will say, at least MJF, when he was cutting promos on Roosh, didn't like make fun of his accent or anything, which was nice. He just yelled at him in Spanish a little bit. He swore at him in Spanish, which is good. Apparently, there's heat with Roosh and CMLL, and that is why Roosh versus MJF happened on Dynamite and not on the show. And then Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi for the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round. So they're doing a first round there. They did that as well last year with CM Punk, and he was in there in a first round. So that's not unusual. They've also done that for the women's. But at least this time, it is Takagi versus versus Bryan Danielson, and that's gonna whip ass. That's gonna be cool as hell. All right, so we got a little bit done of the Ariel, the Gundam Ariel, full mechanics, and we'll obviously do much more of this. This is gonna be our next long-term build here. There is going to be stuff to do with this build, but we are definitely done with model kit building for tonight. But we're not done here, because what we need to do is we need to go raid. We need to go hang out with some cool people and share the love, because y'all have been here, which has been great. We're going to go find someone doing cool shit, and we're going to go hang out with them. It's only fair that we go do that. While I'm figuring out who we're going to go raid, reminder, no stream on Saturday. I am not model kit building on Saturday. My next model kit building stream will be on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, but I would love it if you could come by tomorrow starting at 3:30 p.m. For my birthday subathon. My goal is to get to 88 subscribers. I'm going to go, the latest will be 8 o'clock, which will be 4.5 hours, which I don't think I'm going to do the full, but we're going to go for quite some time. I hope you will come and hang out for that, because it will be fun. Who are we going to go raid? Ooh, my bro Adam is playing Elden Ring, and he's only been streaming for like 5 minutes. So we get at the beginning here. We're going to go hang out with Seabats, a.k.a. Adam. He was checking out the Elden Ring DLC, and that's awesome. So we're going to go hang out with him. This rules. Fuck yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, tomorrow, 3:30 p.m., a subscription means that I eat a McNugget, up to 44 McNuggets. It's going to be fun. We've got Hearthstone. We've got WWE 2K24, a nightmare mode that battle royale, 20 CPUs, creator wrestlers that look like nightmares that are going to be fighting for your entertainment. And then also a bunch of other stuff, some Joshi wrestling, some old video game commercials. It's going to be fun. Come on this raid. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Come back tomorrow starting at 3:30 p.m. up until probably 8 o'clock, but maybe I'll quit early. Either way, thanks for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.